Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the MoDatCast.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
Welcome to the MoDatCast.
What's going on, guys? You got your friendly neighborhood madman here.
And this is Bucky, as always.
Ladies and gentlemen, the MoDatCast has begun.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Today we got our special guest, if you will. Good friend of ours that we've been hanging out with for a long time. He's got some stories for you. He'll be able to back us up on our stories, and that is Mr. Vidal.
Hey, what's going on? This is Vidal, and I want to thank you guys for inviting me to the MoDatCast.
Oh, anytime, sir.
You're welcome.
Speaking of MoDatCast, the only problem that I see is that there is no drink in front of you / no pipe in front of you, Vidal. And the whole point of the MoDatCast is to get Modat, to get Mo high, to get Mo drunk, and have Mo fun. So what's going on with that, man?
Well, right now I'm chilling with my friends right now. I had a few drinks, a little bit, smoked a little bit last night.
It's true.
Last night.
We were drinking.
So you know what? I will enjoy some more drink and some more weed tonight.
Mm-hmm. And as we always say, Modat. I just spelled drink all the way down my shirt.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
Good. Yeah. Well, we have hardwood floors, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah. Oh, well. It happens. Happens from time to time. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the second show of the MoDatCast.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We have a good show for you planned tonight, man. We don't really have anything planned out. We're completely bullshitting about that. But we have a couple points that we want to get on. And the number one point that we wanted to hit on today is about the differences between porn from now and then.
I get really, back in the day when, what's that motion?
I'm just letting you know that your thing is like really, really loud.
Oh, okay. Well, that's how I roll.
All right, gotcha.
Sorry if my level was too high there. It's the way I'm holding my mic.
Really
Then Mike is over here sitting in front of me making the fucking jack off motion, throwing me up. Because I thought you were like prompting me to talk about like skin flicks and stuff like that. Because that's what we were going to talk about.
Yeah, no.
Was the good old days of porn. Because, back in the day with us fucking, 30 and 30-somethings, we didn't have the internet. So
the internet was not around, sir.
We had to search around like fucking ravenous wild animals throughout our homes, trying to find our dad's porn collections. And my dad was fucking sneaky. He had all like the recorded porns, on his and it would be marked like 1987 World Series and shit like that. So I'd be fucking scrolling through old family movies and shit, looking for
series of teabagging.
Yeah, looking for like shit that he fucking dubbed off Skinamax when it was fucking like the free weekends.
Yeah. The free weekends of Skinamax. I'll tell you what, man. Back in the day, that would get you through the weekend.
Oh my god, back in the old days with fucking Comcast, they'd have like the Showtime or HBO. They'd have like the free weekend, and like 2 months in advance.
Yeah.
When it was coming. So like,
exactly.
Oh, dude,
so you're set there. You're ready for it.
March 23rd, dog. We got fucking Showtime all weekend.
Get that lotion. Get them towels ready.
Shit. I'd wake up, I'd stay up all fucking... I'd reprogram my sleep schedule so that I could catch the fucking midnight...
Yeah, for sure.
Midnight fucking, showings of, like, the dirty movies.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about the free weekends, and I'm over here... staying up late at night, don't even have those channels, and you're watching the scramble porn. That was I remember.
The scramble porn.
You just sit there, you try to get a picture of someone's boob, you see it a little bit, you see the pussy a little bit, but, it's still hard to make out with all that scramble.
Also...
I was just going to add a point to that. There's been many times when I was younger, I jacked off to the scrambled porn.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, because you can catch titties.
I used to jack off to USA Up All Night. Remember fucking Silk Stockings?
Oh, dude, Silk Stockings. Oh, the Red Shoe Diaries.
That one was awesome. Dude, fucking Silk Stockings was awesome because you would know.
It was very awesome.
Awesome. I'm fucking drunk already. You see, we kind of went against our MoDatCast principle, and we went out and got drunk, and then came back and decided to fucking film our show. So we're already fucking up our format. If there was one, we fucked it up.
Who gives a big giant flying bowl of
Who gives a shit? That's what it's all about anyway. We're just fucking skipping ahead in the process to where we're already drunk when we started. Anyway, porn. So Silk Stockings, within the first 5 minutes of the episode, it was always like a show about sex crimes.
Oh, yeah.
It's like in the first 5 minutes of the episode, there would be a titty.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Always.
Yeah,
and you know what?
every
To tell you
fucking
the truth, all you really needed from Silk Stocking was the beginning.
Exactly.
You remember the beginning? Yeah, they got the chick rolling up the things all slow on her leg, and
there'd be like some little
man.
like burlesque kind of like shit going on.
And they show some butts, and I'll just be like, man, I could jerk off to the beginning of this.
See, I knew it came on at 10 p.m. So I'd fucking be getting ready for bed and fucking light some candles and fucking be ready to go. And right at fucking 9:59, I'm tuned in to fucking channel 41.
Always.
Fucking Silk Stockings, ready to go. And I'm like, come on, titties. Let's go. This is about to happen. About to go down. And if it didn't go down, some of the episodes, like very few, but some of the episodes nonetheless,
couldn't get you off.
They didn't have the titties at the beginning of the episode, and I was fucking just... And then it was just, channel surfing until I found something acceptable.
Yeah.
And if that didn't work, my backup plan was waiting for my parents to go to bed and going and finding my dad's Easyrider stash.
Yeah, for sure.
Going full on analog and jacking off to fucking magazines.
Well, it's funny because you talk about how you would look forward to something and then you'd be let down. Like, I don't know, Silk Stockings did an episode on like, I don't know, some gay porn guy or something maybe. You're like, I can't jack off to this, so what can I do? So you go looking for it. I think at one point when I was a child, or excuse me, when I was a younger person, the lowest of the lows,
a blossoming adult.
the one that I can think of right now is the lowest of the lows that I think that I ever masturbated to was a fucking old show of Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, God.
Because Laverne had them pointy ass titties, and I could jerk off to it, man. I think that's about the lowest I've ever gone to jerk down.
I got you beat, dog. Sure. I jacked off to Leslie Griffith on the newscast.
Well, hey, man,
I didn't have anything else going, and she was kind of hot back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as time went on, she wasn't much to look at, but she's wearing something low cut,
man, and it looks good.
It worked out.
Look at those titties.
I finished.
Yeah, man. We were doing a cross country trip one time to go see my uncle's graduation from college, and I remember like it was about a 4.5 day long trip, man, like all the way across the United States, So, I mean, at that age, I was like 13 or something like that, maybe. At that age, that's a long time to be trapped in the back seat of a minivan, man, without doing something. So, we pulled over at the truck stop one time, and I had thought this out because it's been like 2.5 days since I jerked off. I need to jerk off. So we pulled into some spot, and how they have the trailer stops, and they have all the little info things on spots that surround it, it'd be like, like around here it would be like, Discovery Kingdom, and and come over here to the Budweiser factory.
Yeah, they like they have in like the rental car places. They have like that whole fucking the wall of pamphlets.
Yeah, and everything that you can do, right? So we pulled over to one, and I remember sitting there. I was like, now kids. This is before smartphones. This is before. This is around about the same time the internet was even starting to get popular. So, I mean, that was not an option. We had the old flip phones back then. I had the Nokia 5100 days and stuff. Like, you can't jerk off to Snake. You can't do that stuff back then. So
I had a StarTAC.
Yeah, exactly.
You could spell out boob.
Yeah, you're so happy about it. You can put a 5 after it, and it becomes plural of boobs.
Flip it over.
Yeah, so we pull over at this rest stop, and I remember thinking to myself, like, I have to find something to jerk off to. Like, I have to find it. Yeah. And sure enough, I'm going through the pamphlets, and there was one in there for this like shitty ass casino, and it was just like a stock photo of some waitress, with her boobs all pushed up and little shorts on, and she's like holding a tray of drinks and stuff. And I was like,
that'll do. Yeah.
That'll do.
That'll do.
Exactly. So I fucking took that, folded it up, threw it in my back pocket, man. The next stop that we went to, the like a rest stop to sleep and stuff, I remember going into that bathroom and fucking just sitting there and setting my little picture up, and this and that, and I'm just going to town, man. And the whole time I'm thinking about, fuck, I've heard about these rest stops. Like, what happens if some dude just walks in here, just like, I didn't even care. I was just like, I am beating the shit out of my dick right now. This stock picture of a fucking a waitress.
Yeah. So the family vacations were the worst as far as jacking it, dude. Oh my God. If I had my fucking smartphone on a family vacation.
Oh, dude, it's over. I'd be jerking off in the back seat.
Oh my fucking! These kids these days are so goddamn spoiled. I don't know how they get anything done.
Yeah,
I would be jerking it constantly.
I'd never stop.
So when I was about 12, maybe 13, and I went on a family vacation to Lake Tahoe.
Yeah,
right. And so my family and I were all staying in one room, and we were going to go to dinner. And this is 2 days into my vacation, mind you, and I hadn't jerked it. And at this point in my life, I had to jerk off every fucking day, or I was a fucking wild animal.
You just can't do anything.
I was mind raping every fucking woman I passed at this point.
Damn,
so
Grandma got some big titties.
Yeah, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Anything, dude, fucking anything. If I fucking passed by a log that looked like it had titties on it, I was like, oh, titties.
I'm gonna fuck the shit out of that.
God damn, that log needs a whooping. So we're getting ready to go to dinner, right? This is like fucking 3-4 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I was about to fucking explode, and I knew that I was going to a public place with my family. In a random wild erection isn't going to work out. So yeah. I've got to finish the job and put him to sleep before we go to dinner. So I don't have any material to jack off to.
No.
So I knew I was going to have to do this, fucking freestyle.
Oh man, close your eyes and just imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking, I'm warming up a thought. Of what I'm going to jack off to.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to go take a shower before we go to dinner, So I fucking wander into the bathroom, and I close the door. There's no lock on this door.
Yeah, oh, man.
Right? So I'm in the shower. I'm sitting on the floor of the tub.
You're sitting down in the shower.
In the shower, sitting on the floor of the tub.
Can't do it standing up, huh?
Trying to rub one out, but I couldn't get the head of the shower, out of the way enough, so it's like hitting me in the face, fucking up my rhythm, So I'm like, all right, well, I got to figure something else out. Taking cum shots as you're trying to jerk. So I slide the door of the shower open, and I'm sitting on the edge of the tub with I'm like facing into the tub, but I'm sitting on the edge of the tub, with the door's closed, but the door of the shower's open.
Yeah, but it's halfway open.
And it was one of those rooms where, so they had, the sinks in the main part of the room. Yeah. You know how the hotels are set up.
Yeah.
And then they had the toilet in the shower in the
different one,
in the room that's got the door closed. So I'm sitting there on the edge of the tub, fucking jerking off, and I'm, close to finishing. And my fucking dad walks in.
Oh, man.
And he plays it off all nonchalant, hurry up, we're getting out of here. And he closes the door. It's clear what I'm doing, he knows what's going on.
Oh, man.
And I don't think me and my dad have ever looked at each other
I was just thinking about that. It's funny because we know how it felt. I mean, I've been caught before too,
Yeah.
And you think about how it feels from our perspective of it. And, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you this now. You probably haven't gotten into it, but I don't have any kids yet. Never been married or anything like that. So I still have those flashes of, I wonder how Pops felt. Because, it's like, if I had a son and I walk in that exact same situation, it's like, what do you do? We look at it from our point of view, looking at our dad's like, oh, God damn it, Dad. But he's probably like, oh, God damn it, son. Or even, God damn it, why didn't I just hold this piss for another 5 seconds?
And I've thought this out many a time as well. When someone goes into the restroom, I'm going to give them their privacy no matter what anyway. I'm not just going to wander the fuck in there.
Yeah.
But if I had a kid that was, 11, 12, 13 years old, I would just assume that every time he goes into his bedroom or the bathroom, he's going to be jerking off. Well, because that's what I did.
Our good friend has a kid that's around about that age now, and it's become to that point. That's why I was going to ask you, see, my thing is, you were in a hotel room. That's the only bathroom. Maybe Pops had to go piss or whatever. Yeah. But how long were you in that bathroom for? It may have only seemed like 5 minutes, but in actuality, it could have been
15.
Yeah, it could have been a good 20, 30 minutes.
It wasn't that far along. this nut was building up for a while. It wasn't going to take very
It's
long.
on its way out.
But I would say I'm going to go with a conservative 15 minutes.
15, okay.
Yeah.
So 15 minutes.
And it was the only toilet, so,
Yeah.
And I would assume he came in to take a piss or whatever, but he may have just came in to
He might
fucking
have
rouse
just came
me out
in
of
and
there,
just be
too.
like, hey, get the fuck out
Yeah,
of
hurry
here.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was his way. He was all fucking about that shit. He
Yeah.
didn't give a fuck.
I remember one time, I haven't, I mean, honestly, I just said it earlier, but I haven't really been caught jerking off to the point where it's blatantly obvious.
I was caught by everybody in my family at one point or another.
And that's funny. People always tell me stories about that, but I think about it. I've never been caught jerking off. Like, the closest it's ever came was, because I've always, when I was a kid, I was always smart about it. I'd go in my room, and I had a locking door at some point, but at one point I didn't. So it's like, but your door doesn't lock. You got to be, like, you had to have the TV on back then, of course, unless you had the magazine or whatever, but your lights are off. And for the most part, I would always jerk off, and I would have like my blankets pulled up to like where my knees would be. So just in case that door comes open, or I had a creepy old house when I was younger and stuff, so you can hear people walking in, like they hear it coming, so you'd cover up every time, So I was always smart about it. I never really got caught with my hand on my dick, and someone walks in, I'm just like, type thing, But one time I came very, very close, and I was a young kid. And I'm in my room. I remember my pops yelling at me and my sister to clean our rooms up. So I'm in my room, got the door closed and everything. And at the point at that time, I was living in a room where you had to like walk in through the door, and then there was a wall about 3 or 4 feet, and then it would open up into a big room. So I had that little tiny, just half a second of someone walking to try and cover up before they could actually see me. So I'm like, all right, cool, because my bed was over here, so you had to get around that corner first. So I got a half a second, man, on it so I can cover up. So I remember, but this was probably the stupidest time I've ever did jerking off. Because, when you're a kid, those first couple times, you're like, I got to plan this out, like, can't get caught. This and that. But then you start fucking doing it. And then it's like, things go out the window at that point where it's like, fuck, I haven't been caught. I've jerked off like 100 times before. Fuck it, I'm just
gonna jaded.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like all nonchalant.
I'm just going to lay in this
jerk
bed
off.
and I'm going to fucking jerk off, man.
So you're over there talking about now you plan it out at the beginning, and now later on you're just like, I'm going to do it and it's going to go for it.
Yeah.
So, I've had those few situations. You start off slow, you try to hide it from everybody. You know what?
Yeah.
Then you start getting, you start planning it out a little bit better. You get sneaky. I mean, I've done it, in my friend's house, looking at his sister.
Looking at his sister?
Yeah, looking at his sister.
Oh, like through the window?
No. She's sitting on the couch. She's wearing.
And you're just jerking off in front of her like, I'm looking at you,
No,
bitch.
under the covers, of course. But,
Hey,
she be wearing
play with your titty.
the short shorts there. Just kind of look.
Yeah.
You're a little young and you're curious, of course.
Yeah.
She's a little older, so you're just staring.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong. I understand why you're doing it. I think that's fucking hilarious. But man, yeah. So yeah, exactly like you were saying, you get jaded to it after a while. And I remember this one in particular time. Pops told us to clean our rooms, and my dad was a fucking asshole growing up for the most part and shit. But he would he'd be like, okay, you got 20 minutes to clean your room up. So in my mind, it's like, my room's not even that dirty. I'm going to jerk off for at least the first 10 minutes of this, and then I'm going to clean my shit up. So I'm in there fucking, and I don't know what it was. It must have been a magazine, because I don't think the TV was on at that point. And even if it was...
Well, know what happens when you start cleaning your room. You always fucking run into some
and you
little
come
scrap of
the,
fucking porn.
Exactly. I guarantee you that's probably what it was. I guarantee you I had a rip out of some fucking magazine or
fucking
something.
Story of my life.
And I'm sitting there cleaning, and I came across it, man. But then again, at that point in my room, too, I did have a poster up of Vivica Fox.
Nice.
And I had Vivica Fox and Holly Berry up on my fucking wall. So, I mean, anytime I needed jerk-off material, all I got to do is turn my head fucking, 50 degrees to the left, and there's Holly Berry. Look over back to the right, oh, there's Vivica Fox, man. So, anyways, so it probably was something like that. And I remember just sitting there, and this is how stupid I was. Number one, it's the middle of the day. Lights are on. I've been told that I had 20 minutes to clean my room. I'm a kid. I have no concept of time whatsoever, So, now... Even worse, I don't have any clothes on. I'm just in my boxers. Mm-hmm. All right? So I've come across this picture probably, and I start going to it. And, what seems like maybe only a few minutes turns out to be 15, and then sure enough, I hear fucking Pops coming into the room. So what do? I fucking, I didn't have my boxers all the way off. I just had it through the hole, probably, the piss hole in the front, Sitting there going to town. I hear him walk in. I cover it up real quick, and I just stand up. I'm looking directly at my father, man. Now, what do you think the problem is here, man? Because I'm trying to play it off, and I know, like, it's God, man. I hate, my father's a fucking asshole, but there's some points in my life where I can picture from his point of view, like, what do you do in that situation? Like, I just walked into my son's room. He's got a fucking boner. He's only wearing fucking boxers, and now I have to tell him what I came in here to tell him. So, yeah, exactly.
Shit.
I think we had that old school standoff, like. Like, who's gonna be the first one to say something, motherfucker? We both know what's going on, but who's gonna be the one? So, anyways, at that time we had these big trash cans. Nowadays, we had these old Tupperware ones, and big size trash can and stuff. And that's
the Rubbermaids.
Yeah, the Rubbermaids, exactly. Yeah, there you go. So that's what we used to put all our dirty clothes into. So I had one of those in there, and luckily it was right in between me and my dad. Okay, but I mean, obviously he could still tell what was going on, So, but I remember trying to grab that thing as he was talking to me and slide it closer to me, like nonchalantly, just like
in front of your dick.
Yeah, gotta cover up this fucking, little kid boner I got going on here and shit. And at that point, it was already jacking off for 15 minutes. There's probably pre-cum coming. Yeah. It's all stained in the front where it's poking out. Like, come on, man, you can't. You caught me mid-stroke, pops. Fuck, man. So, anyways, and I remember him saying, "Hey." He's just like, hey, you only got, X amount of time to get this room clean. You fucking do what you're doing. And I remember saying,
dick away.
Yeah, exactly. But he didn't get to that point yet. I remember saying to him, like,
yet.
Yeah. I remember saying, I am cleaning my room, Dad, or something stupid like that. And he said, no, you're back here fucking off and fucking around. Clean your damn room. And he went out of the room and closed the door. And I remember thinking, like, fuck, man. Like, it made me so sad. Pops just fucking called me out on jerking off instead of cleaning my room, man. And he's absolutely right.
It's a rite of passage, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been caught jacking it by everyone in my family. I've been caught by my mom.
Man, that's got to be the worst.
She didn't walk in on me or anything, but she knew what was going on.
Yeah.
So I'm in my room, I'm fucking skinning it.
Yeah.
I guess I was being loud. Or whatever. It was being extra abusive to my cock. Skinning it.
As in, no lotion? Or...
No, it's just my word for jacking off.
Oh, gotcha.
Skinning
Okay.
it.
I thought you meant, because, some people jerk off with lotion, some people don't do it
No,
all.
I'm a lube guy. Through and through, man. I wish I wasn't a lube guy. It would make my life a lot easier.
It's so much cheaper.
It is. It is, dude. And I've tried no lube before, and I just can't get there.
That's why. Okay, here's a little insight into me, real quick, that probably you guys don't want to know about. But when I first started jacking off as a kid, I didn't use anything. I never used any lotion. I never used and I never changed
the right way.
I never changed.
It's like learning how to type.
Don't get me wrong. I've done it before. I've used lotion. I've used the lube and everything, and it feels amazing. But at the same time, it's like. I'm kind of one of those persons where it's like, if I'm going to jerk off, I'm going to go jerk off and get this shit done. I'm not making production about it. Because then I got to clean off. And then I got to fucking clean my dick off. And I'm like, I should take a shower now. I can just grab my dick and jerk off and feel great about it.
My dick is so spoiled. It won't. It won't do it for me if I don't have lube.
I feel like I get spoiled of pussy because I know how my hand takes care of me. I'm in love with my fuck. I could jerk off like a fucking pro at this point in time. It's like no chick will ever come close to giving me a hand job. Now, giving head and fucking, that's different. But if a girl wants to give me a head job, I'm sorry. I pretty much won't let you.
Oh, I love HJs.
I can't because it's just like, fuck, I have to explain, like, do this, do that, do that. No, I'm sorry. I could do this myself. Put your mouth on that, put your pussy on that, and let's have a good time. The hand, I can do that myself, man. And I feel like if I use lube, it'll ruin like the pussy and stuff for me, or maybe even like a blowjob. Maybe I won't like blowjobs anymore.
Like I talked about before, dude. You can't fool your dick. Your dick knows that you're fucking jacking off. Very true. Like I have sex, I'm good for a day or two, right?
Yeah.
If I fucking jerk off, I'm fucking horny an hour later.
Yeah.
Because my dick knows. My dick knows damn well that it just got fucking. It just got tricked.
It's the equivalent.
It just got tricked into spitting its load.
It's the equivalent of holding the ball for the dog and acting like you're throwing it.
Exactly. Like it only works like fucking twice, and then the dog's like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Now think about it. He goes halfway out. and he sits there and he looks around and no ball lands and he looks back at you and you're holding it and he's like, oh, son of a bitch. So he's back faster. But if you really throw the ball like you're fucking, it's going to take a while for him to get back.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I can't fool my dick anymore.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the lube, man. When I started off, the first time I jacked off, I remember it very vividly. And I used fucking hair gel. I don't know why.
Man,
it was
Dude,
I had no idea what I was doing, dude. I was a fucking
your shit
I was such a rookie. I had to fucking take a shower afterwards. And my hand was all sticky, like it's all stuck together. Yeah. So that was my first time I used fucking hair gel. And from it, if I would have gone raw if I would have gone raw that first time, I'd probably still be a dry man now.
Yeah.
To this day, but I fucked myself.
Yeah.
I fucked myself when I fucked myself the first time.
See, you see what I'm saying though. I don't want to get spoiled about it because I feel like if I start, I've done it before, and it feels amazing. It feels way better than regular jerking off.
And I jacked off one time when I was a kid 7 times one day.
I've done that before
after school. I got off
between 3 and 4 is what I'm saying.
No, between 3 p.m. and fucking 10 p.m. I jacked off 7 times.
Man,
I did not look at pornography one time.
Oh yeah,
and I could never do that again. Like now in these days, dude, I gotta have fucking like just the perfect fucking porn.
Yeah, exactly.
I spend more time looking for the right porn than I do actually fucking jerking it.
Well, that gets to our point, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this. The story that he's just telling is like, now I have to look for the perfect porn and shit. What we're saying is when we were kids, there was none of that. You would take anything that came along, any single thing. Like if you have a fucking cutout from the fucking bra section in the Macy's catalog or something, man, that's your jerk off material, and that's what you have to go to. And if you're listening like what Bucky's saying, he was jerking off 7 times a day. Now that's 7 times to the exact same picture, man. Like how fucking
that was 7 times of fucking telling myself that I was having sex.
Yeah, that's right.
And making it up. Dude,
exactly.
This was all fucking freestyle.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, my bad.
Free balling.
You weren't looking at anything. You were coming up on the top of your head. That is pretty much lost and gone forever nowadays.
Yeah, imagination lands. I
can't even go down that road with you guys because you won't understand what the fuck I'm talking about. But imagine just looking at one picture for 7 times in a row because you need to freaking jerk off, man. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, you got people going through like Pornhub, going through, all these different websites and shit, and they're scrolling through page after page after page of 10-minute porno clips or whatever the fuck it may be, trying to find the right porn.
Trying to find the chick that looks like that ex that fucking dumped him fucking 3 years ago.
If I would have had that for one, if I would have had that for one day, back when I was about fucking 12 or so, I would have fucking killed myself masturbating.
I would have
gone through every. I didn't give a fuck if it's like, oh, well, this one has an Asian chick, and I don't feel like Asian chicks right now. Nope, sorry. Play next. Play next. Play next. I would probably have jerked off like fucking 30 million fucking times within one day, and my dick would have been worthless afterwards. Yeah. Like it's just a bloody stump at this fucking point. And I'm still squeezing my nipples, still trying to get off at the last fucking 5 videos that I didn't get to.
I was about 13 maybe 12 or 13 when I first discovered my dad's porn collection. So this is like about 2 years into me masturbating.
Yeah.
Like I started masturbating when I was about 10.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh, really? Man, I was earlier than that.
Really?
A lot.
See,
earlier.
me,
you'll hear the story later. That's
I thought it. I always thought it was dirty. I wanted to.
Really?
I was like, oh, it's dirty.
Oh, so you had a little bit of that church going in.
No fucking church. Just some like fucking white guilt.
Really? You just didn't feel bad. You felt bad about jerking off.
I remember thought the first time
I discovered it, and I was like, fuck yes.
I thought it was dirty, and I thought that I would be naughty if I was doing it. It wasn't even a religious thing. My family wasn't really religious. They kind of act like they were, but
normal.
Yeah. But so I was about 10 when I started jerking it, and then by 12 or 13 is when I found my dad's porn collection. Oh. And luckily, he had about half of it stashed in the garage.
Dude, the epic father porn stash.
Yeah.
Man.
Once you fucking run into that shit, fucking life's over.
That's the fucking...
This brings us into our whole fucking... This is like... This was our magic bonding moment the other night at fucking Denny's.
Yeah.
When we were fucking coming home from the bar. I'll let Micah fucking tell it, dude. This is so fucking awesome.
Okay.
This is what we had to do back in the day.
Okay, so we're sitting around here and we're talking about this, and you know what? I'm gonna tell a little bit of that story, but let's just talk about it and let's get to that fucking point, because we were talking about the differences between kids nowadays and kids when we were young, and what we had to do to get away with finding porn, watching porn, and doing all the stuff. Like nowadays,
without our parents knowing about it.
Yeah, exactly. Without our parents knowing about it. So nowadays you have a computer. You know, it's easy enough to get rid of stuff. You know, they always have different things that you can tell where your kids are going, you know. But back then it was, you know, not that long ago, it was just cookies. Like you'd erase your cookies and you'd be fine. You know, like no one would be able to tell where you were.
Yeah, you clear your history, erase your cookies.
Yeah, whatever. Exactly. And that was the extent that you
Incognito browser for the win.
Yeah, exactly. And you kids, that's all you had to do to get away from your parents. But what we had to do was, because we had VHS tapes. You know, it's like even going back to my parents still had a fucking beta player at some point and shit, you know? Now, a little background on it real quick. My parents used to own a video rental store, okay? It was called Night and Video out here in Fairfield. So they had, you know, I think at some point, once the store closed down, at some point, we had over like 10,000 movies. You know, just like all these, like we had one room in my house completely filled over to the ceiling with movies from the old store that we used to have. Now, mind you, a good 800 of those were fucking adult movies. Yeah. And I did not know about that when I was a kid, but as I got older and once the store shut down and everything, and I figured out they put all the regular movies in black, all the children's movie in orange, and all the adult movies were in white boxes.
Nice.
I found out what that white box was and I went crazy. So, getting back to the point, we had VHS tapes. Now, if you guys remember what a VCR is, and you remember how a VCR used to work, they have dead center zero of when you put in a tape and start playing.
Yeah, the timer.
The timer. Yeah. And it'll start up from, you know, even if you put a tape halfway in, it starts at zero whenever you put it in, and it plays up to that point. So if you were to rewind back to the beginning of the movie, it would be at, you know, -50, you know, trying to tell you it's only halfway done. So what we would have to do is to take these tapes, put them in the VHS, and sync up that zero spot so we could go back to the beginning, try and find whatever, you know, scene we wanted to jerk off to or whatever the case may be. And then we would have to, when we were done, after we jerked off and everything's good, we would have to get that VCR back to dead zero. And that requires rewinding, fast forwarding, and you could be off by 0.001. And they would know, because they would say, look, when we left, this was at zero because we put a tape out. Someone must have put something in there, so they knew you were jerking off, man. That's how dedicated we were to fucking jacking off and shit back then, because we're sitting there, fast forward, pause. And it's not like nowadays where you got, you know, you can pause it and just move scene by scene. No, this is a VCR. You only had forward and you had backwards. You had fast rewind and super fast rewind. You had fast forward and super fast forward. And, you know, you get all the lines in the TV and everything. It was very fucking difficult to do, man. So there would be a couple times where you're off by like 0.2, 0.1. You're just like, oh, fuck, man. I hope no one's noticed. But they fucking noticed, man.
Yeah. Yeah, see, at first, so my dad had two porn stashes. One was in his bedroom, of course. Those are like the daily go-tos or whatever. And that was the first one I found. And I found it just kind of on accident. It was just like they had one of those entertainment centers in their fucking bedroom, and it was just in there. Then I didn't know this until about a year later. There was a stash in the garage.
Oh, yeah. There's always a garage.
There's always a garage.
It's not as big. It's not as special, but it's just enough to get you
through. And it was the old stuff. It wasn't. It wasn't the you know, like the 6-hour fucking you know, like compilation tapes that, you know, were fresh. Yeah. These were like old, like, you know, mid 70s stuff.
Yeah, those are the ones that pops don't use no more.
Right, exactly.
Like you can't throw away.
That he fucking skinned out, you know.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll take them.
Dude, but, nothing like some Harry Bush when you were a kid.
No, man, fucking Deep Throat. You ever seen Deep Throat?
Yes,
yeah,
course,
Linda
man.
Lovelace, little
I just told you
Ron
I had
Jeremy.
Yeah, fucking
good stuff.
Lovelace. We actually had one of those porns from what's her name? Not Lovelace. She came after that. but she was underage. She came out like she lied. She said she was 17, or said she was 18.
Right?
She was really 17.
Yeah. She was in Penthouse too.
Yeah, she was in Penthouse.
I had that Penthouse. I can't remember that chick's name. I know what you're talking about though.
But we had got a thing like from the FBI or whatever saying you have to turn in all these movies because it was technically child porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking. There was one of those originals still laying around somewhere in that fucking house.
Yeah, my so
thing's gotta be worth
when
some
when my grandpa passed away, my dad grabbed the penthouses. These were like mid-70s penthouses, and one of them had her in it.
Oh man, just gigantic bush, man.
Yeah, huge bush, and I fucking stole those. So that was another time where I got caught with porn. Was because I jacked those because they were just in a garbage bag in our fucking garage.
Yeah.
So I grabbed those and I had them in my room. And later on, I guess my dad was looking for them.
Yeah.
And like they were fucking in a garbage bag. It was about to get thrown away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With like a bunch of other fucking like handyman kind of magazines.
Yeah.
He was like a craftsman.
My old house.
Yeah, exactly. Like fucking not like Popular Mechanics and one of the other ones, one of the stupid like woodworking magazines or something like that. So I grabbed them out of there and I had them for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And then finally, like my parents like called me into the fucking living room. They're like, "So we need to talk to you about something, and we don't want to embarrass you, but
where's Daddy's porn?"
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking asshole.
It was like. So there were these magazines, and they were in the garage, and we kind of need them back. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I got them.
At that point, you just have to admit.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. And then shortly thereafter is where I found an external source of porn, and my life got significantly better. Yeah. It was remember Eric Gow?
Yes.
Eric Gow used to fucking steal porn from this like fucking from his grandma's neighbor.
Oh man.
And so he'd fucking steal porns from him, and I'd buy him off him for like $5.
Really? Wow. He had a racket going, man.
He did. He had a racket
I could have done
going.
that. I was never smart enough to fucking rent him out because I told you we had like 800 fucking porn movies. So at that, I mean, technically, I was spoiled when I was a kid. I fucking had my choice of all these VHSs and everything, But you only do so many of them at Showtime and shit. I remember I used to, because when you have a stack that big, what I used to have to do, because we had them all inside those old school milk crates. Milk crates, So they had them all stacked up in there. So we're about 3 stacks high of VHS tapes. So I remember I used to have to take the top one down, and just for safes, I'd take the second one down. And I'd fucking grab like 4 of those movies in the middle and fucking give them out to my friends. And just be like, yeah, bring them back, this and that, blah, blah. I could have been making money doing that shit.
Hell yeah, man.
Fuck, man. At those points, man, I had a fucking gold mine of fucking porn, man. And it kind of leads me back into that point where it's, we had to get our shit back to zero. There was a bunch of things that parents knew that you would fucking be watching movies and stuff with those VHS tapes.
Yeah, you got to zero the timer, man.
Yeah, and I remember I found my dad's stash in his room. He had this he had this big ass bed, and it used to be a water bed, but then the water bed thing he got taken out, so he put like a big mattress inside of the water bed hanger. But he had his like bed up like maybe 3 or 4 feet off the ground with a bunch of those drawers from a random some other shit, like just random drawers underneath his bed, so his bed's all high up. So he has these drawers down there. And I'm going through them one day, and sure enough, man, I come across the fucking stash. I'm just like, yeah, dude, like fucking. And those were, even though I had these other ones that were, all 800 VHS tapes, like they were older ones. And at that point, it's like I've been jerking off for a while. I don't want to just grab, one with 1970s fucking porn and shit. So this is where he kept his fresh ones that he just bought. So it's like at this point,
6-hour compilation ones.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the beginning of Gonzo, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So I remember I'm going in there, and I just
the old school spankware right there.
And it's a big box, and it has the full art on the front and back, and it's just like tight ass teens in shorts and like blondes and this and that. I'm just like, oh my god, there's so much selection. Like I don't have to actually just watch a porn all the way through. Like it's just scene after scene after scene after scene after fucking. There's no talking. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I fucking would grab
plot, just fucking.
Yeah, just fucking, man. That's all I need. I'm just jerking off. I'm not want to watch a movie while I'm doing this shit. So I would have to grab one of those, and I'd go in there and I'd watch in my room and fucking go to town on myself and shit, and then I'd have to sneak him back in there before he got home. Well, there was a couple of times where I'd forgot about it, and he'd be home, so you have to like sneak it back in there. So I'd have to remember, like, okay, this box, I would take the VHS tape or the VHS out of the box and leave the box in there so I remember where it went. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there like looking at the tape, and it's like, oh, this one's tight skinned blondes. Okay, I have to find tight skinned blondes. I have to go through there and find it and throw it back in there. Blonde? Tight skinned blonde. I don't know, man. It's the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm fucking high.
Tight skin.
So fucking so I'd have to do that. I had to remember where it went, which direction it was facing and this and that. And then this went on for, a few years or whatever. And then Pops finally started getting like wise kind of to what it was, So I'd have to take the tapes out of there. And then at this point, I'm also like, I've never been caught. Fuck that. I'm never going to get caught, So
yeah, you get jaded. You get
jaded again, So now I'm like to the point where it's like, well, he doesn't even notice when I take him just for a couple hours, then he's not going to notice when I leave him in here for a day or like for a day or two. So that way I
you
can
start getting real cavalier about it.
Now I can give a fuck. Now I don't have to go through that mess every day. I'm just going to keep this for a week and be able to pop it in my tape at night, in my machine at night, and just fucking beat my meat without having to go through all this hassle. So I'd hold on to him for a while. Well, I got too cocky one time, and Pops fucking finally came in, and I tell you what, man, the worst fucking thing you ever want to have happen. I'm a teenager at this point, so I'm just in my room, blah blah this and that, and he comes in after, he would come home and he'd yell at me for everything, anyways. But then at the very end of his yelling session, he comes in with 2 empty boxes of porn, and he throws them up on my bed, and he's like, and by the way, put those movies back in there and put them back where you got them from. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, man. Like, Pops finally had enough. Yeah. Finally got caught, man.
Yeah.
And it's just like, the things you had to go through back then, man, it's nothing compared to how you kids got it now, man. It's so ridiculous. Like, it's so, I can't even imagine. Like, seriously, at some point, we only had, at least for me, anyways. I didn't know what those videos were or whatever. I'd have to go through magazines, and you find the fucking magazines. Your friends would give you magazines, or whatever the case was. And I remember going over to one of my friends' house that lived down the street, and he was a little bit older than me, so he had like this nice collection of porn already, right? So he had one of his friends come over one time, and we're sitting there looking through Playboys. I'm like, yeah, man, this and that. And his friend just like kept farting. Every single time he'd see some bitch or whatever, man, kept farting. And I remember thinking to myself, like, dude, I wonder if this guy, like if this fucking guy gets gas every single time he gets turned on. You're like, that's fucking horrible, man. Like,
it's like in South Park, fucking like throws up whenever he sees Wendy.
Exactly.
I wish he's fucking his gas.
I wish I'd still know that guy nowadays, man, because I'm kind of curious about that. Just fucking go get a prostitute and just like, what's up?
Damn, baby, you hella fine.
He's probably killed himself by then if that's the case. But anyways, yeah, those fucking magazines, man. Those are like fucking godsend back then, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank MadMan over here and Bucky and MoDatCast for having me out here tonight, and just want to appreciate it. And
for sure,
you guys will definitely be listening to them about growing up with porn and jacking off and trying to hide that shit. So thank you very much.
You heading out of here? Is that your way of saying bye?
Yeah, that's my way of saying bye. I'm headed out of here.
That was a shitty send-off.
This
damn it,
guy,
you're sober
come
too.
on, man. I was just about to ask you about your
2
porn
a.m.,
collection.
bitch.
Didn't your dad have any porn, man?
No, definitely not.
No, really?
No, definely not.
Oh, see, this is why we need you here now. This is interesting to me.
What the fuck?
Well, you gotta remember, he was in the religious, so he was religious and that. So I was growing up too during that time, but I kind of broke away from that and had my few experiences when I was younger, with girls and stuff.
Yeah.
And, that's why I'm no longer with that religion because of my experiences.
Oh, that's right, yeah. So
this
what
is the alternative? Is
when
vagina?
When you were a kid, did you not jerk off? Or?
No, I definitely still did, but, it was a different kind.
You just had to close your eyes and go for it, man.
A lot of the times,
man.
you couldn't find that
You had to
porn.
freestyle.
Yeah, or you go to your friend's house and look at their sisters or look at the
That's
scramble
right.
lines on the TV.
Shit.
So.
Dude, scramble lines on the TV, man. Fuck. Well, you know what? You're going to have to come back out. And how about we take a quick pause?
Yeah, all right. We'll take a quick break to go blaze one, and we'll come back. And
we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Fucking tell you about some other funny shit or whatever.
MoDatCast
We'll
shall return.
Sweet baby Jesus, are we back already?
We are back.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Back on the MoDatCast. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we had to say goodbye to one of our friends real quick, which is kind of funny because he took off. He didn't really say much.
Yeah, he gave us a nice little outro there, so we'll take it.
Unfortunately,
I was expecting more productivity out of it.
He had to drive home, so he couldn't get to MoDat.
Yeah, he was very very conservative about that.
It's all right, man. We'll have him back on another point because he was getting on that point where Dad didn't have porn and whatever else. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, dude.
I don't even know what that.
See, that kind of brings me to an interesting segue as well. I knew, of course, because I used to steal it, that my dad had porn.
Yeah.
But it's one of those correlations that I never made in my mind that my dad jacked off.
Yeah.
Because you don't think about that kind of shit. You don't want to, of course.
Exactly.
But then at some point when you're, a little bit more mature, you realize, hey, Dad has this because he's fucking jacking it.
Wait a minute, Dad does the same thing?
Right, holy shit, my dad jacks off.
But he's married.
Exactly. And see, when I was real young, it was like, he probably just had it from when he was a kid or whatever.
Yeah.
Why would he still have it?
Yeah, exactly. There's a point where you think in your young mind still, where it's just like you don't think about it, like Dad doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Dad
do that.
And then it comes to a horrible realization, and unfortunately for me, it was at an early age, man, because I'll tell you what, man, Pops. Pops is not only is he fucking asshole, but Pops was into some shit, man. Like Pops, come to find out, that motherfucker, he was all the time, and I got so many stories of it, man. But this guy, once I realized that Pops does the same thing as Junior, when he's fucking bored, and man, that's a bad realization because I started to see it everywhere. Like you lose your childhood at that point, where it's like. Yeah,
life changes.
Dad's not in that room over there looking at anything other than fucking porn right now, and he's beating his fucking dick to it, man. It's a bad realization to realize when you're still a youngster, man. Because I caught that. Oh man, I caught that at an early age, and fuck, man. So we had the fucking videos, and Pops was all about it, and we had these two little pillows from when I was a child, and I don't know where he got them. I think Mom bought them originally for the kids or whatever else, and they were like these little pillows, just like a square. Think of like the pillows that you'd see like on the end of someone's couch, just like a little square pillows, but they had a vibrating thing on the inside of them, and you can reach in the back and you turn it on, and it was supposed to be like one of the early help your neck type things or help your posture or whatever the fuck. Sit on this pillow, it vibrates and it makes you feel better type deal. But as kids, we loved those things. We were like, fuck yeah, the vibrating pillows, man. I'm fucking fall asleep on them and stuff. And you're like, oh, I slept so much better, when really you're fucking probably giving yourself brain cancer and shit because something's vibrating your fucking head as you're sleeping. But whatever, man. Me and my sister, we loved those as kids. Oh, until that day. Until that fateful fucking day, man. I remember my sister was telling to me fucking Dad's... He's out there and he always watches those tapes and this and that. And I'm like, I don't even remember how young I was at the time. I was like 7 or 8, man. And maybe a little bit older than that, maybe 10 or so. But I think it was earlier. And I remember, her trying to explain this to me. And I just couldn't get it. What are you talking about? And she pretty much went into detail about it. And I'm just like, no way, man. I remember thinking in my little kid brain, like, no way, man. Pops don't do that. And I remember walking out there one time, and the way that my house was set up, you'd have to go from the back rooms in the back down a straight hallway, and then once you get to the end of the hallway, you either go to the right to the living room or to the left to the kitchen, and then it makes a big circle, but there's a wall in between. And I remember walking down that hallway, so you have to walk down there and go around one of the corners to see what's going on, on the other side of the room. And I remember walking out there and walking the back way first, and he didn't know that we were there at first. And I remember seeing his legs sticking out, and he was laying on the floor, face down, but head up to watch the fucking film. And I remember thinking, oh, so we went back around the other way, and now we're being louder as we're coming out, like we're coming out for the first time. And I see him jump up and I see him, reach the controller and hit stop real quick, and like, hey, what are you kids doing? And that's another thing too. VCRs were loud as fuck. There was no getting away with it. If someone just walked into your room right now, or just walked into your front door, wherever the fuck you're listening to us from, and was like, hey, nowadays you can hit stop on something and it just stops. There's no way of telling. But back then, you hit stop on a VCR, it makes a lot of fucking noise before it fucking actually stops.
It's like shutting off an outboard motor.
Yeah, exactly.
On a boat.
And then it had that internal motor always running whenever you put something in it. And then maybe the smart ones later on that came after 10 seconds or after 10 minutes or so, then they would shut off. And they make that noise. Mm-hmm. So that was another thing that used to get you caught. When you were watching your VHS tapes and stuff, I remember my mom or my dad or something coming home really really sudden before they were supposed to be off from work, and I hit stop, and I wouldn't have enough time to get that tape out of there, but it would be stopped, it would be turned off, and then they come in, do their thing, whatever, sit on the couch, and the next thing you hear, and it's just like, oh fuck, the VCR just turned off. I just got caught, because now they know something was in there, and just 10 minutes ago it was being watched. So
I was watching Land Before Time.
Yeah, exactly. Don't hit play, Mom. Hold on. Please, Mom. Just listen to me.
Don't do it.
Just don't do it. Okay, don't be disappointed in your boy. Anyways, so getting off track, but going back to the story. So then Pops jumps up after watching this and hits stop on it real quick and is like, what are you kids doing, this and that? And I happened to look down from where he was laying, and there was the vibrating pillow directly where his crotch would have been. So this guy, and mind you, it's still going off.
Yeah,
it's still vibrating because he didn't have the time to reach behind it and switch it. Yeah, it's like just sitting there pager, slowly walking away, like shamefully, like, no, save me, Micah. You have no idea what he does to me at night. You don't want to know. Save me.
Smell me.
I just picture him being like that little kid from Radio Flyer at the end, where it's like, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna fly away. He just wants to end it all, man. He wants to get away from his life. So
Radio Flyer, dude, there's a fucking rare name drop,
right? Hey,
nobody's heard of that fucking movie except in the Bay Area.
You
so it's filmed in Novato.
Yeah,
Novato was where I was.
No, wait.
Yeah,
Novato
and Benicia.
Oh.
They filmed it in Novato and Benicia.
Yeah, man, that's a good
movie. That
movie.
old Elijah Wood movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And everyone still questions the end, like, oh, he flew away because there's a postcard that came. I was like, no, man, that's the director, trying to make things better and stuff. That kid died.
Yeah,
that kid clearly fucking died.
Yeah.
And it's a I can't think of the word right now, but it's a thing to mean that he's free afterwards. Come on. When you see him fly off, come on. Anyways,
yeah.
there's a little known reference for you there. And if you haven't watched that movie, watch that movie. It's a fucking great movie, man.
Yeah, the Radio Flyer.
But yeah. Anyways, back to my dad using my vibrating pillow on his dick.
Speaking of abusive dads.
Back to my father fucking using his little kid's pillow that vibrates to fucking rub his dick on while he watches porno. So at some point, ladies and gentlemen, you realize that your dad does just as much bad shit as you do.
Yep.
And that's when it becomes like a delicate tug of war type situation, where it's like, hey, I know that you jerk off too, Dad, and you know that I jerk off because I'm a teenager or I'm however young. So now it becomes a tug of war of like, who can slyly, because it's like, Dad, I don't have porn. You're the only one who has porn. It's like,
you're the holder of the porn.
Yeah, you got porn, Dad, and I'm coming for it. Here's the deal, man. Your base is not safe, man. I'm coming in full-fledged at some point. And the disadvantage you have, Father, is you have to go to work every day. I don't.
I get home at 3.
Yeah.
You get home at fucking 6.
Yeah. Now you can
look 3 hours to stroke it to your shit.
Now look here, Dad. You can do this the easy way or the hard way. Okay. You can lock your door if you want to be a dick. You can hide at different places if you want to be a dick, but for those fucking 6-7 hours that you're gone at work, especially summer vacation time.
Oh, God.
I don't go to school at all. Then, Pops, what are you going to do then? I'm in here using your air conditioning and using your porn at the same time. So I'm going to find it within that 9-hour workday of yours. So here's the deal. You act like you don't see me doing it, and I'll act like I don't see you doing it.
Yeah.
Type
I'm
of
not
deal.
going to tell mom
Where it's
you're
like-
jacking off on my pillow.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so then it becomes that little dance of where it's like, okay, Pops probably won't call you out on if you hold on to this VHS tape for 2 days. Anything past that is pushing it.
Right.
And then I'm reacting, fucking coming back into that mode of, hey boy, put my porn back. Don't look at that type of crap, No. Hey, we can switch, man.
Yeah.
But you have to supply me, bro. And there's an understanding between us at that point.
So I remember when we got our first computer.
Oh, man.
And it was like fucking, 56K or maybe it was even 128K.
Dude, no.
Fucking dial-up modem.
Dude, I had the 28, man.
Yeah, the 28.8.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
God.
horrible.
No, we didn't get in on the ground floor with that shit. I think ours was 56K, our first one.
Yeah.
And it's like a 486 or something like that, old ass computer. And we had it hooked up in the living room.
So did we.
Yeah, right there in the fucking middle of the fucking living room.
You only had one back then, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Like, it was like the
Yeah.
TVs when they first came out.
You had to hook it up to the fucking phone line,
Yes.
so it was right there in the fucking middle of the
and
goddamn
you can only
living
afford
room.
one.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no fucking multiple computers back in
Yeah,
those
no,
days. They
unless
were
you were-
fucking like $1,500 a piece.
Yeah, no. Shit.
Shit.
Man, I remember my mom paying like almost $2,000 for our first one, man.
Yeah.
That's
My
ridiculous.
parents paid $1,500 for our first computer.
Oh, crazy.
Anyway, so early days, this is fucking like mid 90s. And my dad was fucking on board from the get-go.
Yeah.
And
Wonder why.
wonder why.
I've
It's
heard
'cause
about this thing called the internet.
Yeah, hey. There's a place where you can look up pictures of naked chicks.
Holy shit. And they just appear on your
Yeah.
screen after
It
45
was-
seconds?
and
That's
it's
awesome.
free. Yeah. It's all loading line by line.
You
just
know it. That 28K,
nipple.
that's
Sweet.
what it was. Mhm.
Yeah. Get through like 3/4 of the nipple and then fucking on to the next image.
Yep, I can start jerking off halfway through loading of a picture.
Right, exactly.
as long as it seems I see some
That's
titties,
how it went
yes.
down, man. I don't think I loaded a full fucking image, throughout the first fucking year of the internet.
Man, it took so long to do it. Once I figured out how you can actually save stuff and how you could print things out, what I would do is I would just make a window of like 4 or 5 pictures that probably took altogether like, no lie, like probably like 5 minutes to download all these pictures. Once they downloaded, I would print it out on a piece of paper. And that would be my jerk off fucking sheet. Because it's like, man, like fucking, like Bucky was saying, his fucking computer was out in the fucking family room, man. So was mine. You can't get to that shit all the fucking time.
Yeah.
It's only nighttime when everyone's sleeping is the only chance you're going to get. So you're going to fucking print out a piece of paper with like 4 or 5 different pictures overlapping each other and shit,
So my dad was like out of work for a while. He was working construction,
Yeah.
and he shot a nail through his finger. And so he was like on workers' comp, just chilling at home.
Oh, that's rough.
And
Always there.
fucking rough my ass, dude. If I could get some time off of work, I'd shoot.
No,
my fucking...
don't get me wrong. I'm saying it's rough for you because you're sitting there trying to jerk off.
Yeah,
Pops is always home.
exactly. Like cutting
Yeah.
class. Like I used to fucking cut school all the time. And I'd just stay at home. But once that shit went down, he was fucking
There.
monopolizing my fucking house,
Exactly.
monopolizing my kick it spot.
my,
So we have
my
to-
jerk off domain.
Yeah, we'd have to fucking go over to we used to go over to this kid that lived across town. We'd go over to his place and chill there. It's the first place I ever did coke.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well.
Anyway, so one day, and this is when I realized my dad's game. This is I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
And so like I'd wake up in the morning, get ready for school, whatever, and I'd come down and my dad would already be on the computer. And what his fucking whole guise of what he was doing was he was working on his resume or fucking whatever,
my resume.
trying to get another job going because he couldn't go back to the construction with a fucked up finger.
Yeah.
So I left for school one day, and I get halfway down the block, and I realize I had forgotten something.
Yeah.
So I fucking roll back,
Oh no.
you know, to my house. As soon as I open the door, my dad's fucking sitting there in front of the computer with a fucking naked chick on the screen and a fucking melted ice cream cone in his hand. And it fucking ruined me.
For everyone who doesn't know.
I opened the door, saw what was going on. We locked eyes.
It was magical.
And I slowly closed the door, and I forgot what it was that I needed.
And you just left?
And I went right back to school.
Yeah, whatever it was. It
Yeah,
wasn't that
whatever
damn
it was.
important.
It was dead to me.
Yeah. Oh man,
That was one of the singular worst days of my life.
I've never caught Pops with the melted ice cream cone in his hand, man. I've never. I mean, thank God for that too. By the way, because I'm listening to your story, it sounds horrible.
It was, dude. It's fucking 7:30 in the goddamn morning, and he's already fucking
getting an early
What
start.
kind of oppressive shit is that?
Dude,
like
wake and bake.
Yeah, wake and fucking skin.
Wake and shake.
Yeah, and you know that's like that's like the highlight of his day too.
Oh, man,
like he probably did the shit every day.
Well, he has the exact same thought as a kid, like I was saying earlier, where it's like, "Hey, motherfucker, you got to go to school. I don't." Guess what? Now I'm coming back and I'm jerking off all over the place.
Yeah. Well, see, my routine was
Payback.
I used to have the VCR in my room. I had the TV and the VCR in my room. And at one point,
Yeah, later on I did.
I got grounded, and my parents were dicks. Mm-hmm. When they would ground me, instead of just sending me to my room, make me clean my room and shit, they'd take away my TV or my VCR. So I'd have to fucking jack off in the living room. Mm-hmm. And that made like a whole nother dynamic of, like counter fucking, counter warfare.
Yeah.
I'd have to sneak into my parents' room, steal the tape, run into the living room, zero the timer on the VCR, put the tape in, get a blanket to put on my lap, just in case anybody walked in. So I'd be in the fucking recliner with the blanket over my
junk
over my bottom half.
Yeah.
With the lotion.
Nothing. Pop's just sitting here looking like grandma.
Stuffed in between the arm of the chair and the cushion was the lotion.
Oh man!
And I'd have a towel stuffed in there on the other side. Some little small hand
paper
towels.
Towels or just like an actual towel?
Yeah, like a little hand towel, something like that.
Crub bastard.
Yeah. I use paper towels from time to time if nothing else was available.
Gotta go paper towel.
Every once in a while, I'd have to use a sock.
I was just afraid of Mom finding that stiff fucking blanket, man, or that stiff.
I did my own
thing,
laundry,
man.
So it wasn't a big deal.
No, Mom took care of it, man.
Yeah, lucky bastard. Anyway, so being there in the living room, and a few times I had some close calls.
Yeah.
I'd have to stop it real quick and hit the TV VCR button to go back to cable.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
TV VCR button. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Shit.
And sometimes I would just toggle it over and like let the tape keep playing.
Yeah, exactly.
That was fucking dangerous territory right there. Mm-hmm. And then I had the separate remote for the TV or for the VCR.
Yeah.
Where like I could toggle it over real quick and then I could go back and just hit the pause button or the stop button.
Oh, fuck. You just reminded me of that, man. That's crazy. I got caught one time doing that too. And you just, when you hear that door open and you just hit the TV remote button. Because basically what that button does is it switch it from the VCR to the TV. Mm-hmm. So now you're just watching TV. But if you pay attention to the VCR, it's still counting off seconds.
Yeah.
It's still playing and
you gotta
everything.
watch the counter.
Yeah, exactly. Or like mine had like a little picture of the tape on the inside, and it would just have that little dot that went back. The
little reel-to-reel thing.
Yeah, reel-to-reel, just saying it's still going. Oh man, yeah. There was a couple times I had to do that, and then like nonchalantly, when like maybe the whoever parent fucking walks away for a second, you hit stop real quick and fucking trying to. Man, but then you know what? You hit the eject button. You have to stop and think about it because that eject would take about a good 15 seconds for it to pop out that tape, man.
Right.
You hit eject, the thing would either you had the pop-up kind, the old school kind, or the one that came out the front, and it just and then you grab it and pull it out, and then when you pull it out, the fucking little door goes closes real fast. Yeah, so it made a lot of fucking noise, and it took about 15 seconds to get that tape out. So you had to time it right, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
at one point, I got so fucking incognito about it, is I would sit a different empty case on top of the VCR. So,
yeah, exactly.
Like a fucking like a Back to the Future fucking case or something like that. I'd sit it on top there. Yeah,
man. There's all. It's crazy, man. There's all kinds of stuff we had to freaking do, man.
And now all you got to do is fucking sneak off to the fucking bathroom with your fucking iPhone or your Galaxy or whatever.
Yeah. You don't even need something that technical
Pull up your
anymore.
fucking Pornhub app and off to the fucking skin races you go.
Dude, there you fucking go, man. It's crazy. It's like kind of like we were saying earlier. It's that people will sit there and go through, like I know I will sometimes when I'm looking for something to jerk off to and shit. I remember I'll go through like 5-6 pages of that shit.
Oh man!
Before I find something I can jerk off to.
It takes me way longer to find the thing I'm going to jack off to than actually to jack off.
Yeah, and it's like back then there was no option of that. You just had to do whatever the fuck.
It was whatever was queued up next on the fucking tape, man.
And look at what happened. I mean, like look at all the stuff that you had to do just to get to that point. Now, like I seriously, just like Bucky was saying, I could literally go take my phone that's already in my pocket and walk into the bathroom and go in there and jerk off, and no one would know that I did that. I didn't have to hide anything. I don't have to do, as long as I'm not fucking in there screaming about my fucking dick and shit and like having it turned up super loud. No one knows I'm jerking off in that bathroom right now. I can come back out and just be like, yeah, I had to take a shit. And there you go. Like, but back then, man, there was so much stuff you had to do, and I'm fucking thankful for it because now I know how to get away with shit if I ever fucking need. I don't take it for granted, man. These kids nowadays, what's gonna happen when they get older on and stuff? Like, imagine what their kids are gonna have porn. They fucking close their eyes and they can just see porn right in their fucking eyeballs.
Fucking like Google Glasses, like the fucking
Little Timmy's jerking off in the corner right now. We fucking wouldn't even have any goddamn clue.
Like combining that with like the ability to jack off without touching yourself.
Oh yeah.
Remember I was talking about that before?
Yeah.
Dude, I almost got there. I was so close. I'm thinking about like continuing on with that training to get to myself to that point where I can just fucking sit there and fucking jerk off without touching my dick. That would be fucking epic right there.
You want to be that guy from fucking the original American Pie? Remember that's what he was trying to do? He was trying to fucking go a certain amount of time to have an orgasm without touching himself just by thinking about it.
No, I don't remember that. See, I didn't really get into that movie. I didn't like those kind of fucking all those movies like that.
Fuck you too.
Yeah,
that was a classic.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't a good movie. I liked it the first time I watched it, but all those movies are like super duper awkward. I never really could get into.
No.
Like those type of like the embarrassment movies is what I call them.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit. Look at what we've been sitting here talking to for about the last fucking hour about our embarrassing time.
This isn't really embarrassing to me. It's more fucking therapeutic, and hopefully somebody gets a laugh out of it. Because it's not like we're fucking unique or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like everybody went through this shit.
Everyone's had these stories and shit. It's just it's funny when you come around someone that doesn't give a fuck about telling you the fucking story.
Yeah, it's true.
Or fucking having similar stories. It's funny how you can always find similarities between everyone's stories. That's why I'm kind of pissed off that fucking Vidal fucking took off, because once he opened his mouth about fucking not having that shit available, fuck, I'm interested.
Yeah,
now I want to fucking know, man. Now we got to get him back on here one day and fucking have this discussion again. Like, he's gonna think the MoDatCast is just about jerking off.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back after 2 weeks. Hey man, come on in. You want to have a talk?
So let's tell a story about masturbating.
So we're jerking off, and fuck, man, is that all you got?
I was jacking it the other day, and fucking.
I was jerking it, and I was thinking about you and your story.
My right testicle. Sure.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, man, it's crazy thinking about the differences. It's like kids, it all comes down to just people are spoiled nowadays, and they're never going to realize that and stuff. Yeah. But shit, man, you got to get your nut off.
It's just amazing, like, how much the internet's done for us, and not just in terms of jacking it. I mean, of course, it's revolutionized that.
Yeah.
I mean,
to an extent, that's ridiculous, though.
Just being able to like meet up with people and shit like that.
Yeah, and that too. I mean, everything having to do with any sort of sexual type
before,
stuff.
And everything's become a lot more transient now too. Like, you know how like you make plans and they always fall through now.
Yeah.
You know, like everything always falls through. Like, oh yeah, we should go out on fucking Friday and we'll go to the bar and play some pool, and then we'll fucking, do whatever. And nowadays, that never fucking works out. Yeah. It's always like, oh yeah, we're not going to that bar now. We're going to TJ's, or we're going to fucking whatever.
Yeah.
And it's always like, plans always fucking change at the last minute.
Yeah.
But everybody still meets up because everyone's got their fucking cell phones.
Yeah.
Fucking 10 years ago, that shit wouldn't have went down. You would have planned that shit out, and you would have fucking been there. You would have been there right at 10. You would have been at fucking AJ's right at 6.
Yeah, yeah.
Right at 7 when you said you were going to fucking be there. Nowadays, like, it's fucking like 5:30, 6 o'clock. We're like, oh, we're supposed to be at AJ's. But, nah, fuck AJ's. Let's go to TJ's. Just fucking call Mike up and tell him to fucking meet us there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So everyone fucking switches shit up at the last minute now and never fucking works out. But everyone still ends up getting together because your fucking cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy how, like...
Well, it's the... I mean, it's just... It's like an evolution. Really.
Yeah. Well, now that everybody has that easy, quick luxury at their fingertips, they could be a lot more cavalier and fucking... Exactly. A lot more spontaneous.
I mean, shit, that's why a lot of things are different nowadays. Anyways, it's like back then you had to actually, like give a fuck about shit. Now it's just like, oh, if we're not here by a certain time to meet this person, fuck it, we'll just call them and tell them. Just like you were saying and shit.
Yeah.
It's to be said. There's someone that would actually, it's kind of stand up is to, if you're gonna meet someone, meet them there and then go wherever afterwards or whatever. But I don't know.
Well, also now too, it's like, when I call somebody and they don't answer, I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. Like,
yeah.
back 10 years ago, I was more surprised if they answered.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I call someone and they fucking answer the phone. I'm like, oh, I didn't expect you to answer. That's fucking crazy. Holy shit.
You'd be home.
Yeah, I can't believe you're home.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. Back
hey,
then,
let's talk for an hour now.
Yeah. Back then, if you called someone, you knew they were home. Like, it's just like,
right.
Like that. I think to some people nowadays that seems outrageous, like the younger kids and stuff. Like, what do you mean you're not home? Why couldn't you answer their phone? It's like, because my fucking phone was in my house. I didn't have nothing. Like, if it's major, hit me on my pager.
Right. and like these days, that's like how most people answer the phone now. Hey, what's up, man? Where you at? Mm-hmm. That's like the first thing people say. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Where you at?
I'm in my kitchen, asshole. You know where my phone's at?
At home, Like 10 years ago, I'd be like, at home.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, I'm fucking, I'm at the zoo or whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's funny because, talking about the internet and stuff now, it's like when we were talking about the computers that, like, when Bucky was telling the story about how his parents got that computer and everything, my parents, my mom ended up getting a computer too at some point, but this was in the beginning of the internet. I was like, I don't think a lot of, like younger people and stuff, they realized that there was a beginning to the internet, and it was garbage. It fucking sucked. Like, I could not.
There was like 24 porn sites, and all of them were crap.
There were 24 porn sites. They were all fucking crap. And if you were lucky enough to find one that would stream a video, you couldn't stream it anyways, because your internet shit was so fucking slow.
There's no video streaming till about 2002 that I remember.
Yeah, but see, the problem was with me is I still had probably that same damn computer.
Yeah.
Still running off that shit. When you have dial-up internet, kids, there is no streaming videos. There's fucking loading pictures. And when you would load even in like the very beginning parts of the internet and stuff, when you're on there, you're looking at a picture, it would literally take a long fucking time. Like maybe
a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
For a picture to fucking show up. When now all I gotta do is reach over, push a button on my phone, and within, a millisecond, there's 1,000 pictures up on Google, that I can look through real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Man, back in those days, here's a little click on thing. It says, ooh, a hot, sexy, Asian chick with big tits. Well, I like to see that. Click on that. Opening, downloading. Half an inch at a time. And by the time that fucking thing filled up the whole screen, it was a minute and a half later.
Yeah.
So that was
I'd have like 3/4 of a titty showing, and I'm already got my dick in my hand, fucking furiously stroking.
Going to fucking town, man. And it's ridiculous how nowadays it's like within a millisecond. Even some like fucking, you don't even have to hit a button nowadays. You go to a porn site, what's the first thing that pops up? Fucking like 20 fucking videos of what do you want to watch now? And as soon as you click on that, guess what? You're going to be pissed if that video doesn't start within 5 seconds, aren't you? It's like, fuck, we had to sit through a minute and a half of downloading a fucking picture.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I can only imagine how it was the days before that, man. Before that shit was all in video. Like, how do you think people like back in the days and shit would fucking get their stuff when there was no TV or anything around, man? It's just, you gotta be fucking creative, man.
Yeah, man. It's a whole new world. It's a good thing though, for sure.
Oh, definitely.
In a lot of ways, but I think it's really easy to get jaded to shit too. Like I couldn't jack off without fucking some sort of porn now. I used to be able to fucking jack off without porn. Nowadays, no, fuck that shit.
I could. Let's put it this way.
Couldn't do it.
I
can't remember the last time I tried.
I can jack off without porn if I had sex recently, and within recently I mean maybe 24 hours to maybe even 2 days.
No,
if I can replay that in my mind, I could probably jerk off to it.
No, I've got to have some visual stimulation now.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Gotta have several windows up at the same time.
Yeah,
Gotta
man.
have the old DVD playing in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta romance my cock.
Gotta romance the cock, man.
Gotta romance it.
If there's anything you remember from the show, it's romance the cock.
Gotta romance the cock. That reminds me what we were talking about the other day, the alarm cock.
Oh shit, yeah.
The alarm cock. So I don't know if this has ever happened to anybody else out there. I'm sure it has, because it's pretty magical. I hope so as well too. If any of you gentlemen or ladies out there haven't experienced this, you should at least once.
Sure would be nice to have a woman that would do that for a change.
This is the what I like to call the alarm cock. That's my trademark of this. I am a sleep rapist.
Yeah.
So I have woken up in the middle of having sex more times than I care to admit.
Yeah, and unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, so am I.
Yeah, because, I work long hours. I get home rather late, and I'm, a lot of times when I get home, I'm tired.
Pass out. And
I like sex a lot, but sometimes I just feel like I'm a little too tired and I want to go to sleep. Mm-hmm. So I do.
And you have conflicting urges.
Yeah. And my body in the middle of sleep will be like, hey, it'd be great right now?
Fucking
sex. Sex is always great.
Look at those.
It'd be great right now. Yeah. So yeah, I will engage in sexual activity in the middle of the night with my wife, and I will wake up mid-stroke on top, mind you, and I didn't go to bed naked.
Yeah,
she didn't go to bed naked. So there was all kinds.
There was a lot of stuff that led up to it.
There was a lot of shit going on to get to that point. In terms of any of these things should have. Yeah. In all circumstances, woken me up.
Yeah, you trying to take your underwear or pants or whatever off underneath the sheets would probably be something that should wake you up.
I can barely take my underwear off first thing in the fucking morning after I wake up.
I could barely take my underwear off after anything.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna trip over something and fall or something.
So yeah, I've woken up fucking mid-stroke, having sex. Like, what the fuck's going on? And at that point, when I wake up, it's like, wait a minute, what am I doing here? Yeah. And usually at this point, I'll keep my fucking boner, but sometimes it's like, it's the shock of it all.
The shock of waking up, yeah.
The shock of waking up will just kill my fucking wood.
That'll take.
And
that
I'm like, wait,
down,
what's happening? What's happening? Oh wait, I'm having sex. Okay, get it together, pull it together, finish up. Yeah. But
yeah, man. And I've had the same thing, man. It's been with a couple different girls now, and it's funny because at least for me, anyways, it seems like over time it'll get worse and worse.
Yeah,
because when I first started doing it, I would wake up after I would. Like look at that girl or whoever was fucking there at the fucking time, whichever girl it was, and be like, I want to fuck the shit out of you, or say, and then I'd wake up, and then she'd be looking at me like, huh, like what are you talking about? I'd be like, nah, nothing, I don't know. You got to go back to sleep and stuff, right? So then, after a while, though, it got worse and worse. Like I would wake up one time and I'm sucking on a titty. And I'd wake up another time and like, I'm my fingers inside a vagina and, I'm making out with it. And I'm like, holy shit, like, how did this happen? But it's okay, let's go for it. This and that. And then it slowly but surely got to the point where I would wake up on top of a girl, like you said, and just come to that realization, like, oh shit, like, are we having sex right now? And she'd be like, oh yeah. And I'd be like, okay, well then you don't say anything about it. You just keep going at it, And then it finally got. It used to happen so much with this one in particular chick that I was living with that she would know when I woke up from it. Like she would look at like I'd be fucking, and then I'd wake up and I'd kind of give this like dumbfounded look on my face for a second, before I had enough chance to try and say, oh, I'm sleep raping again. Let me just act like normal and just keep having sex. She would realize that. She would see that little split second face, and she'd be like, you just woke up, didn't you? And I'm like, fuck yeah. Sorry.
Was I good?
But, how's it up to this point? Is there anything you want me to do for you? I already came. Sorry.
I'm done.
Yeah, so, it's funny. But then, also, it was... as time went by too, it kind of like started to slow back down. I started regressing back to that other point where it's just like, the one in particular, one of the last exes, I do the same thing. I'd roll over and be like, I want to fuck the shit out of you, and then just start like I'd wake up with my hand on her ass or something. But then it's like, oh boy, never mind, I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah, damn it.
I just say sorry.
Maybe I'll have a dream about sex.
Yeah, exactly. It's not worth it.
I'm just gonna go back.
I'm tired.
Sorry.
It definitely still comes up from time to time, and it's funny because it's one of those things where like it sounds cool up until the point where you think about like, well, fuck, man, what if I'm like, if I pass out next to someone that I really don't want to fuck or something, that's what I was always afraid of, because if there was one time I was in a relationship and I'm, fucking at someone else's party or whatever. And
what was his name?
Jim. Jim Bob. No, but like, I'm at a party and he's like, oh, there's only so many places to sleep and shit. And, you might fucking, there's a chick sleeping next to you or whatever. You're not going to do anything wrong or whatever, but, fuck, man, what if I wake up and I'm just balls deep in this bitch like next to me? Uh-oh.
Just falling asleep under a random pool table, fucking snuggled up on some chunky chick.
Oh, man, yeah. And then that's the other side to it, too. Like, fuck the relationship part and not wanting to cheat on somebody, but fuck, what if it's just some ghastly ass broad, Or fuck, even worse, what if it's Jim Bob?
Oh. Yuck.
You just come to halfway deep in fucking Jim Bob's ass. Oops.
So
he just looks back and
I'm
says,
not gay. Shit.
He looks back and he just, what's wrong, buddy?
Hey.
Nothing. I gotta go, man. What did you do to me? I'm calling the cops. You're fucking me, asshole. Shut up.
I'm calling it roofies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where's my $1 million?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, man. Fuck. Well, you're fucking him, so you'd have to give him the $1 million. God
shit.
damn it.
Yeah, that is so fucked up.
Not only did I just fuck a guy, and I gotta pay him $1 million. God damn it. The fucking cherry prices are out of control.
Damn it. Damn inflation. Butt cherry taxes. Yeah. It'd be funny to just agree to it. And so you want to do some butt sex for $1 million? Yeah.
Well,
okay.
You already given to me for free a couple minutes ago. Why don't you just go back to sleep already? Fuck.
No, you're the one proposing it, like in your fucking sleep.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're just dreaming it out. Oh, man, that's horrible. Yeah, you got to be careful with the sleep raping, man. I'll tell you what, the first time you do it to a new chick, freaks her out, man.
Yeah.
Freaks her out bad.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, shit, I'm sorry. And she's like, oh, my God. And you have to have that whole discussion. Sorry. If you sleep next to me, I may rape you in my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah, I felt up on my sister's friend one time when I was like partly asleep. Dude,
I felt up on your sister one time. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that too. That was all right, but her friend, she didn't like it too much. She was kind of pissed at me.
Yeah, I'm just
We're
joking.
cool now.
Yeah, that's no shit happens. So
Yeah,
you got to get some sleep boobies. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't fall asleep next to a chick that you don't want to fucking bone.
You know what? That's good advice.
At least not with a fucking full sack.
That's good advice. Yeah, exactly. You better make sure you just fucking came at least 3 or 4 times. You go sleeping next to someone you don't want to fuck, you're probably gonna fuck that person.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. You gotta be realistic about that.
Some guys listening to this right now on a camping vacation, laying next to his mom.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh fuck, man.
Somebody's like fucking on their way home from the bar, fucking some chicks next to him in the car, looking over at her like, fuck.
God damn it.
What have I done?
I'm in for the ride of my life later. I'm the only girl in this station wagon of 7 guys.
Please don't wake up fucking sleep banging this chick. Please, God.
You know what the funny
Don't
thing
let
is?
this happen.
The guys are listening to it right now, and they're going to use that for an excuse later on if the girl gets pissed off. Hey, what are you trying to do? Trying to fuck me? Oh, sorry, baby. I just woke up. I was sleeping.
Sorry, baby. It was the alarm cock.
It's the alarm clock. TM.
TM. Alarm cock.
The alarm cock gets you up in the morning.
Yeah. Also, Elvising. Elvising is another thing I thought of the other day.
Elvising, yeah.
Elvising. So there, we got T-bowing, you know?
Yeah.
T-bowing.
Yep. Kaepernicking.
Kaepernicking. I haven't seen that one. But
This one?
Oh, kissing your bicep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll take it. So the other day I was grabbing all my vitamins because I take, like a handful of fucking multivitamins every day.
Drugs.
And drugs. And so I walked back into the bedroom to grab my glass of water that I keep on the nightstand. And I dropped my my vitamin D pill, and it kind of rolled underneath the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So I go down to grab my vitamin D pill that rolled underneath the bed, and I'm down on one knee, crouched down, reaching under the bed. My other hand is just kind of lightly supporting my forehead.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife walks by. She's like, "What are you doing?" I said, Elvising.
I'm Elvising.
It's where you drop pills on the ground and you kneel down to pick them up. And I don't know, for some reason it just fucking struck me as really funny.
I'm Elvising, baby.
Elvising. Oh, God.
I'm gonna drop my pills off.
Can't go on.
Go get Go pick up my pills, man. Oh, man. Hope I don't down the toilet, man.
Oh, shit. Go make me one of them peanut butter banana sandwiches.
Ooh, motherfucker. Speaking of which, did you see the picture that I put
I
up?
did,
of that
yeah.
sandwich?
I saw that on your Instagram. That shit looked good, man.
Motherfucker.
Is it the King Killer? Is that?
I called it the King Killer, man, because that reminded me of the one that fucking killed fucking Elvis, man. So I go to the kitchen and I look at the bread and I'm like, fuck. I remember at some point, throwing away one slice because it had gotten some mold or something on it. So I remember thinking, like, fuck, when it comes down to the end, I'm going to be pissed because I'm going to want 2 sandwiches, but I'm going to have 3 pieces of bread. So shit. Mm-hmm. So that happened last night. And I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like, oh, fuck, what can I do? I was like, I'm too fucking tired to, like, grill up some stuff or make anything good. I'm going old school. So I look in the cabinet. What do I see? Jif creamy peanut butter. I see fluffy marshmallow fluff.
Oh, yeah.
I see a banana sitting on the countertop over there. And I thought I had some Nutella, but I didn't. So what do? 3 slices of bread, man, Big Mac style. Mm-hmm. Freaking jelly on the one, peanut butter with the marshmallow fluff on top. cover it up like a normal sandwich, then cover the top of that with some peanut butter, marshmallow fluff, put the jelly on the other side of the bread, cut the banana, mind you, longwise.
Yeah.
3 solid strips all the way across the top, and then cut up the top and kind of like place them on top. Bow, covered it with the other one. Man, that sandwich was fucking delicious, but I felt like I was having a fucking, like, I couldn't breathe afterwards.
Did you get the sugar sweats?
Man, well, you know what the funny thing is, what makes it even worse is, excuse me, was that burp, but fuck, was the, I'm slightly allergic to peanut butter.
Oh.
But the only, and this is the weirdest shit, I don't know, man, I would love to hear from somebody else who has this fucking problem, but whenever I eat peanut butter, just underneath my eyes, like the, you know, the bags that you would have underneath your eyes, get
your
hella
sinuses.
hot and they get sweaty.
Huh.
And that's it.
Weird.
And that's the only side effect. It doesn't make my fucking tongue itch or my throat itch or anything like that. I just get hot underneath my eyes. I'll just be sitting there going like this, just wiping underneath my eyes because they're fucking sweaty. Yep. Let's think about it. We talked about fucking jerking off for a pretty damn good amount of time.
Yeah, you know, that was pretty much the whole show. And it like, I knew that we had a bunch of fucking stories about that. So, you know, why not fucking get it out of the way? You know?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Everyone fucking jacks off.
Yeah. You know, one of the...
You know who doesn't jack off? Liars.
Yep.
Yeah. That's it,
I was
dude.
about to say, what else could it possibly be?
Liars.
The one of the points that I was trying to get to that I forgot about earlier about the, you know, talking about the computer being out in the front. It's funny because, you know, back then the 28K or whatever dial-up, or even 52, it was dial-up. That motherfucker was loud too. That was another thing too. You know, it's like I remember I used to have to, and it didn't come out of the speakers. It came out of the actual computer tower. So what I would have to do is fucking grab a pillow, put it over the little vents on the computer, while it was dialing in. You get that, you know, fucking. So I'm just sitting there holding a pillow there for about 2 minutes or so until it finally logs on. Then you put the pillow down and you're trying to find your stuff, and then God forbid you get fucking disconnected for some reason, and you got to go through the whole fucking process again, man. But yeah. So yeah, differences between then and now with porn is just ridiculous, and it's just, and not even just porn, man. You know, just masturbation in general, man. It's so, you know, like, just to me, growing up when I did, it just looks so freaking ridiculous now. Like, I would have killed my dick. And I don't understand why fucking kids nowadays aren't killing their dicks. Yeah. It makes me think that in the future they're going to be pretty fucked up type sexual people pretty soon.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's the whole thing, dude. Like, the more fucked up shit you look at, you have to keep on going down that road. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can't just stop.
Exactly.
And at some point, you run into that fucking, like, tentacle porn or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Where there's, like, no going back.
Yeah, pretty
You can't just go back to the fucking, you know, like the fucking lesbian summer afternoon shit.
Yeah.
You got to fucking have the 5 black dudes fucking banging the blonde co-ed, you know.
And just fucking taking her and her mom down. With a fucking midget in the background, and then fucking...
Yeah, the amputee with the fucking toilet seat on his head.
Yeah, pretty soon it's gonna require all that to get people off, man. That's funny. I mean, because think about it, you know, if I were to go up to someone today, like if I were to go up to you today and just be like, hey, man, no more internet porn, no more even like, let me just say, okay, I'll put you back on magazines. No porn, no watching, nothing, no nothing. Can you just do that?
Fuck no.
There's no way in fucking hell, man. And everybody listening is the same fucking way. Like if someone came up to you and said, hey, by the way, no more watching porn online, no more watching porn on TV, no more nothing, man. You just got to get pictures from now on. You're not going to go back to that. No one can do that. Just be like, you know what? I'm only going to jack off to pictures now anymore. No, you've been fucking spoiled. So in the future, man, fuck me. Like, what's going to happen? You know, like, fucking, when it gets to the point where, I mean, I can't even imagine it getting bigger how it is now. I can't. It's, like, unfathomable to me fucking right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, the only thing I can think of is, like, we're going from, like, Google Glass or something like that to where it's, like, an implant or something like that. Yeah. You know? Or just fucking, like, live streams right into your fucking brain.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you need there. Yeah, we can fucking...
like our fucking neural net fucking movie idea or some shit. Just fucking factor in like porn into that fucking scenario where it's all about fucking jagging it.
Dude, some dude's just sitting there staring at you, and he's just in his mind fucking just going to town on some bitch, just watching the craziest, nastiest porn while he's having a conversation with you.
Shit.
What's gonna happen? Oh well, fuck it, man. I want to try it though.
Yeah.
Give me my neural net right now. Oh man, I'll tell you what, I'm getting fucking tired of having to log on to these fucking websites all the time.
Right.
I'm getting spoiled now.
It's like let's go back to fucking 15 years or whatever, and say that you had a tape of like the most awesome porn you can imagine. Yeah. Where it's fucking like 3 hot midget chicks getting railed, and like one of them takes a shit on the other one or something like that. Something like off the wall crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like something that like if you saw it on the internet, you'd be like, "Holy fuck!"
Yeah.
And imagine you had that tape, and you went to like your friends. You said, "Dude, I got the fucking best porn ever. This is the best fucking porn ever." Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like it's fucking. You've never seen anything like it. Like, they would fucking pay you a lot of money to see that shit.
Oh, yeah.
You could easily fucking sell that to your friends.
Remember back in the day, when you first saw the 2 girls, 1 cup?
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw that shit.
Yeah, it's like taking one of those back then.
I wouldn't say I jacked it to that because I couldn't do that.
No, of course not. But just something like so outrageous out there like that.
Yeah,
like fucking,
just knowing something like that out there. See, I have this porn that I picked up, and I haven't jacked it to it. It's just one of those fucking freak show things that one of those you can't unsee this and it's gonna wreck your day kind of thing.
Shit.
It's called Shit Gang.
It's more rotten.com, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, Shit Gang?
Shit
Is
Gang.
That what you said?
Shit Gang. Shit
the
Gang
first thing
5.
I picture is just a fucking gang of people being the shit gang and covered in poop, and
all women, but yes.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's and the best part is it's in like a fucking. It's in like an event room at a Hilton.
Oh man!
I don't know if it's a Hilton.
They're
but
not
it's
getting
a fucking
the deposit back.
It's an event room in a hotel, and it's like they have like all like the chairs set up and shit.
Yeah,
and they're just fucking going to town on each other.
Oh, and they're just shitting all over each other.
All over each other. It's so fucking funny, and it's like that like the hotel staff walked in at some point, just cracked the door open, and saw what was going on, just closed it. Just
fuck that. Can you imagine what it would smell like?
It would be
You
terrible.
would smell that from outside. Everyone's
so
shitting
terrible.
on each other.
There was so much poo.
They've been fucking working. If they're filming Ass Gang, you know what you got to do. You got to go fucking eat a certain amount of diet. You have to get that liquid type poop coming out. You have to do that.
Yeah, it's like the consistency of peanut butter.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Now, imagine this. This is Ass Gang 5.
Shit Gang.
Shit Gang 5.
5.
Which means that there's been 4 other ones before that.
To perfect their craft.
Yeah, which means number 5 has to blow 4 different ones out of the water.
Right.
So just imagine what's going on in there, man. Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck.
I still have it on my external hard drive. It's plugged into the TV right now. We could watch it right now.
Oh man, I think we should.
You will not be able to jack off to this porn. I assure you.
Well, yeah,
it's not that kind of porn.
Be able to jerk off to someone shitting.
It's just one of those things that you watch it just to say you did.
Yeah, well, of course, man. I mean, we all know that. But I'm just saying, like, can you imagine, like, when we were kids, if people were doing that, we didn't know about it. There was no internet. We couldn't. There
was Faces of Death and things like that.
There was Faces of Death we'd watch, but that's different. This isn't just like because
you always hear rumors about this kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly. You hear the rumors, you hear the stories, and you hear whatever else, but you couldn't get a hold of it. You couldn't see it.
Everybody's uncle had that fucking weird fetish shit.
Yeah, and then
my uncle's got this fucking tape of this, blah blah blah. Yeah.
And it's that one. It's that nowadays you get that thing where it's like, oh fuck, this is a normal person fucking shitting all over someone while they're trying to fucking blah blah this and that. Like, that was something so outrageous that it would be something like Faces of Death type stuff. Like, oh man, you got that Faces of Death tape? Yeah, let's watch that. Blah blah. That was just people dying and shit. This was fucking like this could be your neighbor over here just pooping on somebody and shit. Back then, man. You couldn't find shit like that. Now it's just like fuck, and people are starting to equate it with sexual type stuff, and man, it's crazy, crazy, crazy times. I remember when we first found out about Rotten.com.
Yeah. Or E-fucked and
Pain Olympics.
BME Pain Olympics. Oh, God damn it.
Oh, man.
Oh, damn it. I never got over that one.
So many things that, you see, and it's just like, fuck. And that was the whole culture of it, because it's like, fuck, that was the beginning of everything. Well, you're just...
The worst one I ever saw was One Guy, One Cup.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, you don't want to ever. Not ever. It's a dude shoving a highball glass up his asshole, and then it shatters. And he pulls the shards out, and like all this blood just starts pussing out. It's so disgusting.
It's horrible, so man.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, that sounds gross. Throw it on.
No, that shit will wreck your TV. Your laptop will be on a fucking FBI list somewhere.
Yeah, for real, right?
Never.
Fuck, man. Look at this. We just bring up the subject to recap on some stuff, and we're already back down. That is a fucking interesting subject, man. Don't get me wrong, man. I'm not fucking running around every day jacking off 10, 20 times as it might sound right now, but fuck. When you actually think about the differences between now and then, and fucking just in that term of jacking off, man, that's a lot of stuff, man. That's a big difference.
I don't think my sex drive has gone down a whole lot since I was a teenager, but I definitely. Well, right now since I'm married, I really don't jack off much. I just fucking blow my load
from time to time when you're bored.
Chick.
Yeah.
But every once in a while,
or when she's not home,
period's going on, or whatever maybe she's not in the mood. It's time to skin it.
Hey, there are such things as headaches.
Yeah. Headaches or backaches or whatever.
Ass aches.
Time to skin it.
Yeah, man.
Ass aches.
But I tell you, whoa.
What the fuck is that? That's my phone.
Oh.
Okay.
Fantastic. Yeah. We got phones dropping. We got drinks spilling all over our equipment.
Yeah, it is what it is. What do you expect? It's MoDatCast.
Welcome back to MoDatCast. We had to take a break because we spilled a drink all over our shit.
Yeah, we just spilled a drink, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, man. But I think, that's, I don't know. I think it's a fucking interesting subject, man. It's funny to talk about and everything, but fuck, man. Because I think to me, it has certain amount desensitize certain things.
Yeah.
Because coming from me, who's a fucking single guy and whatever, it's like when you can't get pussy, you're going to jerk off and stuff. And it's funny, and you think about it and you're just like, fuck, man. I'm using my phone to look through this crap right now. When I was a kid, there was so much work I had to do and so much effort put into it. And you couldn't do it all the time. And, you had to make it work and stuff. To me, that's kind of it builds up your can't think of the right word right now, but it builds up your sexual energy, I think, because it's because right now I can go fucking plow through a chick, and fucking be like, yeah, man, it was great, this and that. After a certain amount of time, I may start to get bored with that person or whatever else, but that's only because I can fucking go and fucking, look on my fucking internet, on my phone. I can fucking, I'm sitting there. I'm not jerking off with the same picture to 7 days anymore, Fucking 7 days in a row. Now I'm fucking going, I'm looking at a different video, fucking anytime that I want to and shit, So when it applies to that, it's just fuck, man. I can get all this variety and I gotta fuck you 5 times in a row? What the fuck? Yeah. I know it sounds fucking horrible and shit, man, but fuck, man, I don't feel that way all the fucking time, of course, but there's been some times where I've been with someone I really don't necessarily want to or whatever, and it's just in a situation where you don't want to get out of it yet, and it's just fuck, man, why do I have to fuck you again? I can go watch my fucking internet fucking porn right now and fucking be watching 3 thick-ass black chicks and a Latina girl, and fucking it's gonna be fucking awesome instead of you piece of shit.
You're so ordinary.
But fucking then I stop and think about what that little kid inside of me is thinking back in the day, whoa, what are you doing?
Yeah. Wait
Go
a minute.
have sex with that real fucking girl laying on your bed.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you, asshole? I didn't fucking jack off to a picture of a fucking cocktail waitress for a week just so you could turn down an actual bitch in your bed and go jerk off in the bathroom.
Son of a bitch.
What's wrong with you, motherfucker?
Greedy motherfucker.
We gotta have a talk, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
What have you become?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, man. But
I've been there too. Like with some of my exes, it was like, God damn it, dude! I
Yeah.
really don't want to have sex with this person anymore.
it's like, I could come have any bitch I want to on my mind right now.
Maybe she'll go to sleep and I can sneak off and go jack it.
Yeah.
And I know my dad's done that too.
Oh
dude.
man, of course.
I know he's done
Of
that too.
course,
Where,
man.
like, you know, the way my house is set up is my parents' bedroom is like right next door to mine, so they'd have to walk out of their room and then walk by my room and then walk down the stairs to you know, the living room. And so, like, you know, in the internet days, like, we'd all go to bed and I'd be in my room and I'd be listening. I used to listen to Loveline on my boombox, dude.
Of course.
Fucking Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Adam fucking Carolla.
Hell yeah, man. So I'd be listening to that, and you know, I'd have it on low so nobody else could hear it, and then I'd be waiting for Silk Stockings to come on.
Back to the silk stockings.
Back to the Silk Stockings. We came back to that.
Yeah.
And then I'd, you know, after assumedly everybody is asleep, I'd hear the fucking door creak open.
Mm-hmm.
Down the stairs goes my dad to the fucking computer.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, at a certain point around the time that I caught him jerking it, I knew what he was doing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then you're, welcome. You have mail.
Welcome. You've got mail.
You've got mail.
You've got porn.
Oh, man.
You've got chafing.
You've got freedom.
So,
man.
yeah, like so I'm sitting there listening to the love line, and I'm usually either about to jack it or already done jacking it at this point, and then my fucking dad sneaks downstairs to go masturbate. And
It just sounds so funny when you say it all the way through.
yeah.
It's not like to go do his thing. It's like,
And I'm like,
to go masturbate.
and I'm as a kid here, I'm like, fuck, dude. I wish I had, dude, some chick that I could bone right now. This is fucking
for real.
awkward as shit. And, you know, like, every time you jack off, like, as a kid, at least me, I always kind of felt a little bit dirty. Like, God damn it, why do I have to do this?
I was happy. I smiled.
Well, yeah, I was happy
I can't wait
too.
to do it again.
Yeah, I was happy too. But, you know, for the first, like, couple years there, I always felt a little bit dirty about it. Like, you know, they tried to make you feel dirty about it.
Ooh, quick side note real quick. The first time you ever jerked off, do you remember the first time you ever jacked off?
Yeah.
Did you come at all or no?
Oh, yeah.
No, see, I didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I think I started off pretty fucking young, man.
Yeah.
Because the first time I jerked off, I didn't come or nothing. I didn't even know that could even fucking happen until later on in life, and it surprised the shit out of me.
Yeah, no, I was ready to go, dude. It was fucking the summer of
69.
I was 10.
Okay.
And it was summertime, so I guess it was like
92 or 93?
I don't know. I don't remember the year, but it was like after the summer after 5th grade.
Huh.
I'd turned 10, so it would have been 93.
Yeah.
Summer of 93. And, you know, nobody was home, sitting at home alone, watching some movie that I taped off fucking Showtime.
Yeah. Red Shoe Diaries.
And I remember the thought that passed through my head, gave me a chuckle.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I should try my hand at jacking off. And I was like, oh, try my hand. Oh, I get it. Nah. It was like, I didn't mean to make the pun, but I had made the pun, and I was like, fucking got a little chuckle out of it.
Only fucking 10-year-old Bucky would be sitting there and be like, I'm going to try my hand at jacking off. What kind of 10-year-old kid says, try my hand?
I don't know, dude. This is all like an interior monologue.
Yeah, that's just hilarious, though, man.
Yeah. Dude.
I'm going to try my hand at jerk. Man, I tell you what, man. I used to jerk off to fucking... I remember there was this one in particular Janet Jackson video that used to come on all the time. I'd jerk it to that. I remember there was another fucking music video. Fuck, I forgot what this was when I was older, but that one song... It's like, I want to freak in the morning, freak in the evening, just like me. Remember that song? It was some black chick, man, and she was so fucking hot in that fucking video. Like, it was just like, it was her, and she was doing like this little froggy style thing, just bouncing her ass. It was like the first video where a chick would look like she was just fucking
like
something. Yeah. Well, fucking not twerking like nowadays. The real kind of like, you're gonna come fuck me type shit. Yeah. So fucking that was awesome.
More suggestive.
Oh man, I used to
less obvious.
I used to go to town. I remember I recorded those videos one time, man. I'm just sitting there playing them on a repeat, just going to town. No lotion.
Hey, you lucky bastard, man.
No lotion. Just give
I
me
sealed the deal on being a lube man very early on. I fucked myself.
Yeah, well,
literally.
You gotta do what you gotta do. But I'll tell you what, I'm glad I never got into it, man. Because
that's a curse.
Yep. So,
anyways. You ever had a pocket pussy?
No, I've never had nothing like that.
My sister got me one for Christmas one year.
Really?
It was pretty magical.
Pussy.
I fucked a hole in it actually, and had to throw it away. It actually split.
Man, you just tore that shit.
I did. I fucking ripped it apart.
Pocket pussy my ass.
It's actually a pocket ass, technically.
Ooh,
but
classy.
It did the trick for sure, man. That thing felt good.
I never had nothing like that because I know that Boots had one. I imagine it's popular in the fucking military and everything, you know.
Yeah. No, I was probably about 23 or 24 when I got it. It's not like I got it when I was fucking... Dude, if I had that when I was a teenager, oh my God, dude, I never would have left the fucking house.
Dear God, yeah, I could only imagine that.
Yeah.
I was never a big thing when I was younger, and I learned about masturbating. I was never a big fan of trying to find something else to fuck. You know, like I think I stuck my dick between the couch cushions one time. You know, that was about it.
I think I tried like a few different things, and I never really went anywhere.
Yeah, I was never fascinated with trying to find something to make a vagina out of, or stick my dick in a cake or something, some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know?
We didn't have the life hacks on the internet that
yeah
they have now.
I remember I just stuck my dick in between the couch cushions, the back ones, by the way, not the ones on the seat, the ones in the back, and I remember I would do that, and I was like, oh, this feels kind of good, you know. But the funny part was that couch was directly in front of my big-ass window that looked outside from my family room. So, like, I'd be sitting there, and the blinds would be closed, but I would be sitting there, and you're like, how you just pull one blind down when you're looking through to make sure my parents weren't coming home. I'm just sitting there fucking the couch, just looking out through the window. Like, yeah. Man, I hope that fine bitch walks by.
Yeah.
It's my neighbor. Yeah. Going to town. And then I remember I got older and what's his name? Fucking said that shit. What was his name? Billy Bob said that about fucking Angelina Jolie. He was like, man, fucking Angelina Jolie was like fucking a couch. And I was like, I looked over at my couch like, oh fuck. I was like, I've been fucking Angelina Jolie for a while now. I think I'm gonna go fuck my couch again, man. Sounds awesome.
Yeah. I never really I tried like a few things jerking off, like, to spice things up for myself.
Yes, I'm in a jerk off less relationship right now.
Right. Yeah. I'll, light a few candles or whatever to fucking romance my dick. But
the Kenny G going.
Yeah, my mom had this friend's like fucking convict guy that he had just gotten out of jail. His name was Dwight.
Oh, where's this story going?
He
Dwight done fuck me good.
No, nothing like that. But I forgot how it came up, but we were talking about fucking jail and like the misconceptions people have about jail, and and he said like for the most part there isn't really any rape going on in jail. There were, maybe some, but like it's all at like the super max kind of levels.
Yeah.
But there is sex in general population between dudes, but it's mostly consensual and fucking awkward as fuck. Like, you'll see like these dudes that are like all talking shit about their fucking, about gay people and shit, and then You fucking walk
Throw
by
it
their
down
room
someone's
and they're
ass.
fucking, you know, rubbing up on their cellies and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, this dude was saying that when he would jack off, they would steal the butter packets from the commissary.
yeah.
They'd get these little butter packets, and they would use their socks, and they would flip their sock inside out and put it on their hand, and they would coat it in butter.
Yeah, it's called a fifi.
Yeah. I didn't know about this.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, I was fucking, 12 or 13 at the time. So I heard about that. You take the sock and you coat it in butter and you fuck the sock. And
Oh, man, did you do the butter sock?
I tried it and it was fucking just a mess, dude.
I can imagine, man. I mean,
it was pretty terrible.
butter
that
takes
sock.
a long time to get off of your fingers, like if you get it on your
Yeah,
fingers
it's
and
fucking
shit, right?
oily and greasy and disgusting. It didn't work at all.
Man, I'll tell you what, that's some pretty shiny cock you got there, sir.
Well,
Well,
I guess I see. If I didn't see being a lube guy, I'm already fucking pigeonholed anyway. It might take prison for me to become not a lube guy.
Yeah, for real, right? I don't know. That butter starts to look pretty good to you then, I guess.
Hey,
Some jelly.
You do what you gotta do. But I could see how the butter sock would be better than fucking, some gay dude's ass.
Joe, yeah. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, man. So that's crazy. That was one of the things that we covered, man. And it's funny every time. Like, we could probably go on for fucking 4 hours on the subject if we wanted to, man.
I can't do it. I'm ready to fucking go balls deep in my wife right now.
There you go. It's crazy, man. It's the differences between now and then are outstanding.
Outstanding and a little bit scary, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, man. Like we said, what's to come in the future, man? Who knows?
You can die from a lot of shit, man.
Yeah, I hear you can even die from jacking off too much, man. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, choking yourself while you jack off. I guess that's like the Rubicon right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once you get fucking jaded to jacking off, like, I can't jack off and come anymore. I just can't get there. What should I do next? Let's try choking myself. That's kind of cool.
I need to almost die every time I have an orgasm.
I had an ex that liked to be choked. That was weird.
Hey, man, I know a lot of chicks that like to get choked. Choking's fine, but I mean, when it gets down to the point where there's this one chick I was with, and she wanted me to do it like so fucking hard, I had to stop and think about it. Like, what if something does happen right now? Like, what if I collapse your fucking larynx and you die? And how am I going to get out of murdering you? Type shit. It was that fucking hard. I'm like, holy, dude, I can't go that far. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love choking a chick while we're having sex and having some nice, passionate fucking sex and shit. But fuck, man, where I'm to the point where I hear a little like coming from your neck. It's like, all right, man, come on. You're just, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's pushing it. But yeah, man, that would be the ultimate fucking thing. Gets to the point where, what if in the future that's what it is? In the future, it's just like every time, in order for you to get off, you just have to have like a fucking I almost died type moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you have to scare the fucking cum out of you.
Yeah. Is that a scaregasm?
Yeah. You're all fucking like doing like the Paul Walker thing. You're fucking driving while you're fucking looking at the girl as you're driving all fast, shifting and fucking nut. Crash your fucking car. Now we know how he died.
Yeah.
Dude was driving the fucking Porsche, jacking off.
Dude was looking at him doing that. Just like, hey, Paul Walker, does this impress you? Does it impress you when I go this fast? Skeet, 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 bow.
Do you like it when I work the stick? Huh?
Double clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're approaching that time very quickly.
That's about it. Yeah, dude.
Thank you very much for listening to the MoDatCast. And we'll be back at you pretty soon here once we come up with some other shit to say. Y'all know we've been talking about it. Boots hasn't been here for a while. He will be back here relatively soon for the next podcast.
Motherfucker
hopefully.
keeps on getting deployed.
Yeah, man. Like, what the fuck's going on?
Goddamn government.
Jesus Christ. There's no tragedies or no fucking wars going on right now. Like,
He
what
got
the
deployed
fuck?
to fucking Las Vegas.
Yeah, who
Come
gets
on.
deployed to Las Vegas for 2 weeks, man? I'm starting to question if he's even in the fucking military right
Yeah,
now.
I think he's like he's like a degenerate gambler. Actually,
Yeah.
he's not even in the military.
What the fuck, man?
He just keeps his hair cut short.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But yeah, he'll be back on here. I mean, excuse me, he will be making his first appearance on here relatively soon. So stay tuned for that. And as always, go get some MoDat.
Roll it up, light it up, smoke it up.
See y'all next time.
Peace.